Yeah, the first house was right next door to Generation Next Church. Now, I remember walking into it the first time and seeing possibilities. It had been a youth house for the church, and so there was lots of interesting sort of things going on inside. There was some wavy mauve carpet. There was a few ceiling tiles that were sort of missing. But when we looked at it, we sort of started dreaming about what it could be. And Pastor Tommy over there started a renovation project with the generosity of local foundations that helped fund it. And we were able to transform that little house into a place that really felt like there were exam rooms. We divided them up with partitions, but they had exam tables, and there was some privacy to it, and we really tried to provide a place that would give our patients dignity and respect while we examine them. And so I think the cool thing about that little spot was it reminded me a little bit of how we used to do clinics down in Central America, where we kind of made the best of the situation that we had. And really the response of the community was amazing. Honestly, the first day we had people sort of through word of mouth show up, and there were probably about 25 people that showed up that first night. The next week there were more, the next week there were more. It was really an amazing sort of word of mouth phenomenon where people would show up, they would line up, and they would be waiting to be seen at the end of every Monday. So it really just sort of took off like wildfire, but we were able to really meet the needs of some people that desperately needed access to care, especially in the immediate San Jacinto community. But what we found was as soon as we sort of opened the doors, people found their way to us from all over the community and even outlying areas. So it really made an immediate sort of impact when we got started.
We were so excited when we found out that the possibility of so much space was available and in the same vicinity. It felt crazy. I remember at the beginning we thought, we're gonna have to rent out part of this space in the Y building, so we won't need all that space, and we need people to help us pay for it. And God's provision was just so evident as we were able to acquire the building and start this capital fundraising campaign to renovate one room at a time. And I'm telling you, it was exciting to be over here. We had, beside the swimming pool, what we called the bowling alley, where the patients got to be inside to wait. And we had the main room that is now the Nest, was kind of our temporary clinic area while they started renovating the current clinic. We would have sometimes 65 or 75 volunteers a night. We handled a lot of patients, and it was so great to be able to bring all those people in and feel like we were expanding our reach to the patients. It was a real time of feeling the community support us, both with their time and their prayers and their money, to kind of expand what we were doing.
I think one of the really neat things about when we moved into this building is we got to sort of practice a little bit. Because we were able to put in partitions and set up in the Nest what we kind of hoped that the clinic would be like, with a central kind of desk that would feel like the nurse's station in the main clinic. And so really we got to practice and sort of have a tryout and make sure that what was happening and what we were designing and building would be exactly what the patients needed. And so it's really been a blessing to walk into this building now and just remember what it was like being in that little small building, then coming over here, dreaming of possibilities, and then now walking through this building and just imagining just all the things that we hoped or dreamed, and this has definitely exceeded expectations, that we've gotten to just see how God's hand has really provided for us. And he's done that really through the generosity of this community.
We were really excited to be able to manage more patients at one time and have more exam rooms and so many more possibilities that we could use the building whenever we needed it. At that point, we started having women's health nights, and several different things happened that eventually led us to dreaming about a chronic care program, and we couldn't have done that without having this space. I feel like our Shalom program is one of the most vital pieces of what we offer to the people in this community, and I'm so grateful we have room to take care of them and have the wellness space and all the things that make the program what it is.
The other piece I think was really cool was when we were in that other little building, we had a little tiny room that was our pharmacy, and we used to run back and forth. Texas Tech would come back and forth and bring medication. So building this new space and actually having a pharmacy on site with a pharmacist and the staff that we could really bless our patients with medications and being able to get those on the same day was just an incredible addition to the services that we were able to provide, and just provide them in bigger and better ways. And then again, the wellness space, who would have ever dreamed that we'd be able to create a incredible sort of gym space over there and teaching space where there was a big hole in the ground that used to be a swimming pool. And so when I walk in there and people see that place, they're like, wow, this is nicer than any other health club we've ever been in. And just to imagine what we've been able to bless our patients with goes back again to this idea of how do we create dignity and respect for our folks, and how they really sense that they are special and that we care deeply about them. And so I think that's something that paying attention to the details in this building have been something that's been really important to us. And so we try to be intentional about everything that we've done here.
Our chronic care program is called the Shalom program. Shalom is a Hebrew word that means wholeness, comprehensiveness, completeness. That's the type of care we try to provide at Heal the City. Prior to enrolling in the Shalom program, many of our patients didn't have access to routine primary care and sought such services through the emergency room or urgent care centers, places that aren't built or designed to deliver primary care. But here in our Shalom program, we focus on the relationship with the patient, getting to know them as a patient and as a person, and them getting to know their primary care provider. Our patients have access to medications, routine labs, referral services, exercise equipment, wellness classes, and even one-on-one counseling with a certified personal trainer. When we see the patient, we try to focus on the whole picture and how we can use different avenues and interventions to address their chronic diseases. This helps empower them to take control of their health, to look at those chronic diseases and face them as partners with us, and using all of the tools that we have to collaborate with them on their medical problems. We're grateful to collaborate with patients as they seek to tackle their chronic diseases, and we do this as a team.
I'm so thankful I've gotten to see Heal the City Pharmacy evolve over the years. We started off filling meds at Texas Tech, so we would fill them there, and then someone would transport them to the little house, and that's where the patients would be waiting, and we would give the patients their meds there. And then we moved into our current building, and we were in a tiny little room, and we were still just working on Monday nights with all volunteers. It was so many people in that little pharmacy, but it was fun, organized chaos in there. We had a good old time. We then renovated our pharmacy, and so it looked like a true Class A pharmacy. And so thank you to Jerry and Margaret Hodge. We had a beautiful space to be able to fill meds for our patients, and that's kind of where I came into the picture. So we moved to 5 days a week filling meds, and then I had a tech that helped me, and we were doing that for a few years, and we quickly outgrew that, and then we moved into our current pharmacy. And thank you to High Plains Christian Ministry Foundation, and again Jerry and Margaret Hodge. They are so generous with their money, and they have provided us with a beautiful space to be able to provide all these meds for our patients. We went from filling 1,000 meds a week to over 40,000 meds, and we're quickly doing more and more every day. So I am excited to see what the future holds, and I'm so glad that I've got to see the pharmacy evolve over the years.
When we speak about the culture of Hilda City, I always say that we're una familia, a family. And we don't just refer to the way that we work together, but it's really how we lift each other up. All of us have fostered an environment of one, mutual respect, but two, teamwork. And that positivity then ripples down from not only through our team, but to our patients. So we make sure that when our patients walk in, we always welcome them with a warm smile. And also, it's a philosophy that we live with each and every day. When our patients see a smile, when they hear kind words, when they receive a hug, and they see our genuine spirit, they get to experience something beyond clinical care. They experience what it's like to be, again, part of that familia that is dedicated to helping them feel and be better. We're not just providing care, but we're providing so much more beyond these four walls. And being a new face at Hilda City, I'm so proud of the work that Hilda City has done in the past decade, and I'm looking forward to seeing what we can accomplish in the future.
Hilda City has been such an amazing organization and how it's impacted Amarillo and the community at large. It exists to help the uninsured of Amarillo from a medical standpoint, but it's so much larger than that, in my opinion. Just the dignity and compassion that our patients get when they come in the door here is something they might not necessarily be used to. And so it's nice to see an organization such as Hilda City be there for these patients that might be underserved, uninsured, marginalized in our community, who might not get dignity or compassion or respect when they are in a time of need. And that's something Hilda City's been amazing at, being there for these people.
Hilda City exists because of the generosity of others, and that happened long before September 8th of 2014, when HTC opened its doors for the first time to meet the medical needs of the uninsured here in our community. Over the last 10 years, we have had a multitude of volunteers, of community partners, other nonprofits who have partnered with us in ways to be able to truly meet the needs of those that we serve. We are so incredibly grateful for the opportunity to partner with these individuals, whether it's giving of their time, talent, or treasure. The fundraising that has happened over the years has been a lot of fun. Saddle Up and Save a Life has taken on a life of its own. Stan and Renee Scard started a golf tournament many years ago, and that has now grown substantially to not just raise funds, but also to provide an opportunity to educate the community about what truly is happening here and how one's participation is really truly impacting lives. We are so excited about what the next 10 years looks like and being able to engage individuals, whether it's coming in and volunteering here at the clinic, praying for our patients, or attending one of our fundraisers. Together, we truly are transforming healthcare and providing hope.